What up, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast with your boy Dustin Calloway. Man, listen. Man, y'all don't even know how salty I am right now. I'm salty. See, what y'all don't see off camera, man, is the moving parts, right? The moving parts. Let me move this out the way. The moving parts with the whole camera, filming, mic setup, all that stuff. I just recorded this whole episode. The whole episode. Literally. Right before this. But my mic wasn't set up right, so it didn't capture none of the audio. So I got to go right back and redo it all over again. I won't even say the whole episode. I didn't record the whole episode. I recorded half of it. And damn, I looked up and I was like, oh no, the camera not hooked up right. The mic is not hooked up right. Oh my God. So it was just a whole basically silent video, man. But it's all good. Let's get into it, man. So yeah, as you notice, I don't have Devon here, Big D the Chief here with me. So the issue is, with this, and I won't say it's a big issue. So when I come up with topics for the show and stuff that I want to talk about on the podcast, I like to basically, I don't even, like some of this stuff, it just come to me, right? It'll just hit me from like based on a conversation that I had with somebody, or I'll just be sitting at work randomly thinking, and I'll just like think of some shit that's going on, and I'll be like, damn, I want to talk about that. It'll spark an idea, and I'll put that idea down. But really, when I be at work, I be wanting to stop and like start recording right there on the spot, because I can go and go. So that's what makes it a little bit difficult to have guests on, because when I be feeling it, sometimes I just be feeling it and I want to go, and I need to go. So yeah, that's why I decided to just do this episode, by myself. And honestly, I think I'm gonna change up how I really do all my episodes. Really, I feel like when I, come up with these ideas and stuff, like it's real quick. It's not like it takes me a long time to think about what I want to talk about. Nah, I'll come up with 3 or 4 episodes in one day. One day. Like, I'm dead serious. One day, 3, 4 episodes. Something that I could talk about for a whole episode. A few different things. 4 of them. So what I'm going to start doing is whenever I'm feeling it, I'm just going to get down, get into the studio, and I'm just going to record. I'm going to go, and I'm just going to drop them, record and drop them. And not hold back, because I think that's the issue, trying to stuff it inside until I'm ready to film on that certain day, like, nah, these are just going to drop. So going forward, whenever I'm feeling it, you're just going to see an episode pop up and I'll blast it out on social media. But let's get into this, man. So I had a conversation with some people, right? This was a few weeks back. I was kind of sitting in a room with a group of people, and we were having a conversation. And I would like to describe myself as a free thinker, right? And to me, a free thinker is just somebody who thinks outside of what everybody else wants you to basically agree with, right? So to go back to where it all started, when I wasn't a free thinker, it goes back to my childhood when, I know like a lot of y'all, get up on Sunday, we going to church. Get up on Sunday, we got to go to church every Sunday, right? And when you go to church, you sit inside this box with people that all think alike, or kind of all, not 100%, but they all kind of agree, since we in this box, that we agree on this book that he's reading from and his interpretation of what he's reading out of that book to us all, right? Because you could look around and you could see all the people in the church, even when I was younger, saying, yeah, you're right. Well, you better say that. Well, right? So we sat inside this box for years and years. And, while I was there younger, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to say that I felt it all. I didn't. I was just kind of just sitting there like a young kid, didn't know nothing about it. And that's what most of us do to our kids, right? We just follow the same program. Since our parents took us to church, we just gonna make our kids get dressed and we gonna take them to church too, without even explaining it to them. And you know, for years and years in my life, I walked around feeling lost. And I was afraid to live my life. I literally walked around living my life in fear, because what I was taught was, if you be bad or you make a bad decision in life, or if you do anything wrong or you think wrong, you're going to hell. And I'm like, man. So you walk around this world for years and years thinking that everything you do is going to lead you to hell. And it starts from a child, from being a child. So you take a child's thought process away from them by taking them to this place where they're telling them if they do anything bad, they're going to go burn in hell. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how that can fuck a kid up a little bit? If you really start thinking about it, you take them to this place where they literally are pumped full of fear and sent out into the world with that fear to control their way of thinking in that world. So that was my life growing up. And I'm talking about, when you talk about anxiety, you talk about depression. That was my life. Walking around thinking that, man, I done did too much, man. I done did too much in life, even though we can go down another path and talk about lack of guidance, right? Right? So think about what y'all parents do to these kids, man. Y'all send us to church from a really young age, right? Halfway guide us outside of church, or pretty much don't guide us at all outside of church. And then you send us off into this world expecting us to be all right? Nah. So you talk about depression, anxiety. It's because you got us in this world where we go to church, the pastor talking about good stuff. Wow, got us all pumped up in there with all the, and you see all this, you hear all these good words, but then you go home to your version of hell, or a medium hell, or just nothing, right? So that's how I lived my life growing up. Every decision that I made in life, I always thought about heaven and hell, always. So I kind of shut myself in, and in every situation that I went into, I would bring church into it, right? I would always bring it in and just say something about church and church this and church that. But really, my life wasn't even getting better. I was just using it as this shield, right? Just holding this shield up, thinking that was going to save me from whatever was going on, when really it wasn't. It was actually making me worse, right? And then that's when I decided, when I met a certain person in my life, I got challenged on that way of thinking. I got challenged on it, right? And from that day, that's when I woke up and I said, you know what? Wow, let me start thinking, let me start doing a little digging, and let me start doing a little research on my own, right? Instead of going with what everybody else wanted me to think and believe, I said, let me go on this journey and start reading this, watching these videos, watching more videos, and learning a little bit more about this and learning a little bit more about that. And then that's when I realized, I said, you know what? If you stay thinking inside this little bubble, this little group of people that don't want to think outside of that box, you're in danger. You're in real danger. So that's when I decided to become a free thinker, man. I decided to become a free thinker because my life was like, I literally was living in hell now, in this life. Not no afterlife stuff. I was living in hell every day. I'm talking about, I couldn't figure out my life. I had a kid when I was young. I was 20 years old. My 17-year-old I'm like, man, it was tough. And then even just imagine, back then when my daughter was born, I was still living in that way of thinking, like the heaven, hell thing. I'm living my life wrong. Wasn't married, none of that. So I'm walking around, I'm depressed. I'm just out here struggling. So fast forward to this free thinker person that I am now, it doesn't sit well with a lot of people. And I noticed that, to go back to this event that I was at where I was talking to a bunch of people, and I noticed that a few of the people in the room, when we were talking about specific topics, they were all they just kept agreeing with each other on everything. And I'm like, that's that bubble that I'm talking about, right? So we got on this topic of basically trying to figure out how to change the world, right? How to help the world. And what everyone in that room kept going back to was their families and how to fix their own families. And it starts at home with the family. That's all cool. That's all cool. But my free thinking ass, I said, you know what? The world is bigger than your own family, right? So you could do all this fucking work at home all you want to, right? You could work on your family, get your family this, do this with your family, do that with your family. Cool. Your family's set up right? But the world is bigger than your family. That's just the big picture. Because guess what? Your family cool, right? But guess who your family got to deal with when they leave outside your house? The people in the real world, the people who ain't like them. They got to deal with them. So, okay, you got them thinking right. You got them living right. But again, when they walk outside those doors, the world is just bigger than your family, right? So, what's the plan, right, to help more than just your family? So you got people in this world who are free thinkers, and they live outside that box, man. It ain't just about the family, right? That's cool to have a family structure at home where you got mom and dad and you got this and you got that. That's all cool. That's cool. That's lovely. But do we just kick the people to the curb that ain't got that? Fuck it. What do we do? Because everybody not raised up like that. Everybody ain't got the mom and dad at home to help them. You got a lot of people that's living in fucking ghettos every day. Mama got 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. Even 2, 3 kids, even 1 kid struggling like a motherfucker in the projects. In the ghetto somewhere. Somewhere fucked up in a trailer park. Fucked up. What do? Do we just say fuck them and we kick them to the curb? What do we do? See, my free thinking ass is thinking outside the box of how we can help more than just our families, man. Because the world is bigger than just our families, man. So I got asked at one point in time, just to go a little bit off to the side of this, right? Well, what you doing? And I'm just like, damn, it's crazy, man. Like, somebody asked me, what am I doing to help? What the fuck do you think this is? What do you think this is right here? Right? You get a big enough following. You get a big enough support base. People share this. People watch these videos. This is my version of helping out. I will never get up here and pretend that I'm a millionaire or I'm a thousandaire. I'll never get up here and pretend that I'm that person. Never. And just because you have a certain way that you want to do some shit, right? That don't mean that I want to do the same thing. Like somebody had asked me about that. Well, start a nonprofit. I'm like, man, that ain't what I want to do. So my version of me helping out and me trying to change some shit, that ain't my version, right? So if that idea popped in your head when we was talking about ways to help out the world, motherfucker, you go do that. Because that's your version of it. This is my version of it, right? My version of it is I'm going to talk about real shit that happens in real life. I'm going to record it. And I'm going to put it up online. So, online, the internet, that shit ain't going nowhere. I hope y'all know that. This is my version of giving back to the world. Doing this. See, y'all got this book that they read out of at church every Sunday. Been passed through ages, but just passed through. What are we passing through? And it ain't no black or white thing. It's a real life thing. At the end of the day, fuck the color, man. The color don't matter. You got fucked up black people, you got fucked up white people, you got fucked up, you name it. Everybody got problems. I don't give a fuck if you're in the ghetto, you're in the trailer park. Everybody got problems, and a lot of people don't have solutions, or they don't have nobody to talk to about those problems. So this is my version of, well, what you doing? This is what I'm doing. Can you say you doing the same? See, what we do is, when we sat at that event, we all sat in this little ass room, and we all just fucking talked in a circle. Which seems to happen all the time. We talk in this fucking circle and nothing ever happens. It goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. And none of that information leaves that room. It doesn't leave the room. And some of the people in the room say, well, yeah, I'll go tell this person. And then they go tell that person. Come on, man. How you know? You with that motherfucker all the time? Are you with them? Or are you just going off of something that they told you? That one person that you want to go tell? Come on, man. Come on, man. Somebody that inspired me to do what I do and keep on pushing forward is Wallow. Wallow from Gillian Wallow, $1 million worth of game. He inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing. And the reason why I say that is, see, people looked at Wallow when he got out of prison from doing, like, I want to say 20 some years. They looked at him like he was crazy when he was making his videos. He was out there running around in the rain, motivating people, man. Motivating people to keep driving. People looked at him like he was a goddamn clown. Look at him now. See, he took all that stuff that he was talking about, that he talked about in his videos. I promise you, it all started in a room of him just talking to a couple people. I bet you it did. Well, what did he do? He said, you got to evolve this shit. We got to evolve what we're doing, right? So even if we do talk about shit in the bubble where it ain't a lot of free thinkers, right? And it's just people that's talking about topics that can help change the world. We have to evolve past just sitting in fucking men groups of the same men every fucking holiday or cookout time, birthday. We got to get past that shit. We got to evolve outside of that shit. Just talking in those little bubbles. Because that's where the information gets stuck. This information needs to be put out there to the world for people to see. And I get it. Everybody don't want to be on camera. That's fine. But what we talk about in those rooms, okay, that's cool. We don't have to all get on camera. Whoever wants to get on camera, feel free. If you don't, nobody want to get on camera. That's cool. But at least we had that conversation, right? And now I could take my notes from that conversation and whatever your input was, whatever that person's input was, whatever that person's input was, and I'll be the voice, right? I'll be the voice, because that's the fucking problem with a lot of people. See, a lot of people turn their back on free thinkers because a lot of us will say, we'll go against the grain, and we're going to go against the normal shit, right? The regular shit, just the repetitive shit, where it ain't no change there. You see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no evolution. We don't evolve. We don't grow outside of that same fucking conversation. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I think. I don't like to sit in the same groups and bubbles and fucking just keep talking about the same shit over and over again. And it's like, God damn. Okay, cool. We could talk about how fucked up Cardi B situation is with her husband, right? In this room. We could talk about that video that he just put out with her trying to get head from her on social media. We could talk about that in this room. But for real, people like them, I get it. And you're going to get your people on the other side of it to say, well, they can feel free to do whatever they want to do. That's cool. Live in your fucked up world. Normalize bullshit. That's cool. Live in your world. But we keep talking in this room about shit, right? But they put videos out online showing the fucked up shit that they doing. So we need to put videos out online talking about the fucked up shit that they doing and talk about how fucked up it is and how they trying to normalize bullshit. But you see what I'm saying? Like, while whatever you want to call your version of evil is out there fucking up the world, the people that's really trying to change the world All we doing is sitting in fucking rooms talking. We ain't battling them. Look at social media. Look online. Go to YouTube. Go to anywhere you want to go to. Any social media platform outlet. You're going to see more bad than good. But what are we doing? We sit in rooms and that's all we do. We just talk about it in the room. We ain't really out there changing shit. Wallow, back to Wallow. He evolved outside of that room of people he was just talking to. He evolved outside of just those videos that he put out. And the crazy part is he still put those videos out where he's solo dolo outside motivating people. But on the flip side of it, he evolved to bigger rooms. He evolved to a podcast. He evolved to events where he's going around talking to people about the fucked up ways, the fucked up shit that's going on in the world. He evolved past that. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. But he evolved past that, man. He evolved past that. And now, look at where that man is. Look at what he's doing. He's making a change, man. He's making a change in the way people are thinking. He's not just looking out for his family, because he could just be out here looking out for his cousins and shit, because I don't think he got a wife and kids and stuff like that. But he could just be out here looking out for his cousins and them, little Boo Boo and Ray Ray and them. He could be, but he don't. He go out there and he touch the masses, because it ain't just about your family, man. That's just the bottom line. It's not. Okay, let's talk about something else, right? That I wanted to get, that I had to, that I was feeling a vibe for, man. So you got people in this world, man, that they do a lot of dirt, and they do so much fucking dirt to people that dirt begins to make them feel guilty, right? It begins to make them paranoid. And then they live in this world. They begin to live in this world where everything, their whole life is consumed with just looking over their shoulder, being fucking paranoid about everything. I'm talking about these motherfuckers be out here stealing from people, beating people up, doing dirt to their own family. So then they have to turn around looking over their shoulders all the time, because they done did so much fucked up shit in this world that they don't know where could it come from? Where is some shit coming from? So those same people, they take the guilt of what they did to people, instead of going out and fixing that shit with the people that they fucked over, that they stole from, the family members that they stole shit from, the family members that they did dirty, the friends that they did dirty, the people that they robbed, the people that they beat up, knowing that, this person can't beat me up. So they go out there and bully them pretty much and beat them up and steal from them. So instead of going out there trying to fix those relationships with people and go apologize to some of those people, just say you fucking sorry, they get into this world where the guilt of their mistakes comes flooding out, right? And they become paranoid, and they try to force their paranoid thoughts on others, right? And the crazy part is they don't even realize that all they need to do is go out there and fix the shit with the people that you fucked over. So I have a situation where I know somebody personally that done fucked over a whole lot of people in this world. A lot of people. A whole bunch of motherfuckers, man. Where it's like, goddamn, motherfucker, like, somebody is definitely looking for you right now. Somebody looking for you, man. Somebody is definitely looking for you. And when they see you, it can go, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to go. But I just been preparing myself for it because I'm just like, dude, you can't keep on. I actually know a few people like this, but it's like you can't keep on going out there doing people dirty, man. I'm talking about you're stealing motherfucking money from people. You're stealing shit from them all the time. You're stealing from your family. Like, look, you can't keep doing the dirt. So it's like any day, you know, I'm just waiting for something bad, just to hear something bad. Knock on wood, nothing does. But the one thing that I will say about those people or that person, look, man, everybody don't live the same life as you. They don't. Everybody ain't out here fucking everybody over. Like, yeah, everybody got their own level of, you know, messing over, you know, getting over on people and shit like that. But to the degree you did it, nah, everybody ain't like that, man. So when you come to people and you start talking to people about what they need to get prepared for, or what they need to watch out for, or how they need to raise their kids, and how they need to do this and how they need to do that, you should probably just talk to yourself about that, for real. Like, when you think about it, because only you control your level of dirt, right? You control your level of filth and what you do to people. You control that shit. So just because you went out here and you did a lot of fucked up shit in life, that shit don't mean that you can come back talking to everybody about what they need to do with their lives because of what you did. And because you feel guilty about what you did. Because one thing I can say about me, let's go back to me. I know what I did in this life. I know, you know, how many people I got over on. I know, you know, I know my level of what I did in this life. Put it like that. Is it to the degree where I'm like looking over my shoulders everywhere I go? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. So I don't live my life in fear. So when we have these conversations, me and this person, I'm just like, man, look, I hear what you're saying. But while we're talking, I can tell, I know that a lot of your responses to me, they all come from that place of fear, of the guilt of what you did, the guilt of your mistakes. And the only thing I can say back to that person is, look, you need to go and heal those relationships with people. And on the other side too, you need to stop doing what the fuck you doing. If you're still out here doing the same thing to people, maybe you should stop, because all you're doing is you piling up your guilt motherfucking bucket, and you're the only one that can control that shit. Like, if you're not gonna stop doing what you're doing to people, that's on you. But honestly, you need to go out here and fix those situations with people, for real. Like, have a conversation with them about the shit that you did to them that was wrong. Whether you stole from them, whether you beat them up and stole something from them. If it's your family, you did some dirt to your family, own that shit. Walk up to that person and tell them, hey, I'm sorry. Or have that conversation with that person. Even if they don't accept your apology, man, just keep trying. But don't bring your guilt into the lives of others and tell those people, or try to force those people to start thinking like you, because you guilty and you feel guilty and you paranoid. Nah, that shit don't work. You did that shit to your life, man. You did it, you know, and we could dive deeper into that if we want to, and we can start talking more about how this person got to that point. Yeah, we can. But at some point, your grown ass got to get up and wake up and realize that you made a lot of mistakes in life. You did. And it's up to you to own that shit and go apologize to the people, or make a, you know, bridge that gap, man, between you and the people that you fucked over. That's the bottom line. And that's all I could really say about that, man. Moving on, man. Listen here, man. You know what type of person in life I can't stand, man? The type of person in life that I can't fucking stand. I'm talking about, ooh, I got to get out the room with you. I can't stand a person that's holier than thou. I know y'all know the statement. I know y'all heard that little saying before. Those people that are holier than thou, that pretend like they ain't got no motherfucking problems in life, man, listen. Let me say something to y'all, man. Let me say something to y'all people. Y'all motherfuckers forget that people know you in real life. People know your family in real life. People know who you are for real in real life. They know everything about you in real life. Everything. And people don't forget shit. People don't. People don't forget the shit that you done did in your life, man. They don't. And like now, I'm not saying that people can't evolve outside of the bullshit that they used to do. But that's cool. You can evolve outside of that shit that you used to do. Or the person that you used to be. But the one thing that you should not try to do or not do when you get outside of that shit, you grow outside of that shit, is start acting like you better than every fucking body. You can't do that. You got to stop acting like you better than everybody. You got to stop acting like your template is the perfect solution to everything and everybody should follow you. It don't fucking work that way in life. You know, it just don't. Because people like me, the free thinker, I see outside of the bullshit. Like, I don't sit in circles with people who I can tell, like, they got this shit around them, this glow around them where they just like, they never talk about anything negative about them. Never. It's just always about everybody else and about how fucked up your situation is, how fucked up your situation is, how fucked up your situation is, and what you need to do, that, like I'm doing, to fix your situation. Or I want to see you be like me. Like, what? First of all, motherfucker, however you are, a motherfucker might not want to be like you. Like, what you value, a lot of people might not value that same shit. So before you get into a room with people and you start talking to them, or you start talking to a specific person about what you think they should be doing with their life, first of all, you got to make sure that the motherfuckers want to be like you. Or make sure they even give a fuck about what you give a fuck about. Because some people don't give a fuck about what you give a fuck about. Like, and I'm just being serious, man. Like, it's certain rules certain things that people do in life, right? Like, let me tell you about one thing. And I'm not saying that I'm against it, right? But like, let's just talk about marriage. Some people value marriage. Some people value the idea behind, I want to find the perfect woman for me or the perfect man for me. I want to walk down the aisle with that person, and I want us to get married and have kids and have a lovely family. Some people value that shit, but you do realize there's people on this planet that don't give a fuck about marriage. They don't want to ever get married. They don't like the idea behind it. They don't like what it stands for. They don't like the paperwork that you have to fill out to do it. Like, it's people that just don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure before you talk to those people that they give a fuck about what you give a fuck about, or that they a little bit, just a little bit, man. Because you can get to talking to people about shit that they really don't care about, and it's like, damn, you could start rubbing people the wrong way. It's like, what? You care about that shit, not me. So, you know, it's just a thing, man. It's just a thing that will rub me the wrong way every time, man. If I run into a person who start talking that holier than thou shit to me, especially if I know you and I know about you, I know about the people in your circle, and I just know I know a whole lot about you that I see on a daily basis, where I'm like, why do you come to me talking to me about all of this holier than thou shit that you talk about, when I can look right at you and I can be like, motherfucker, you telling me that I need to be doing this, but look at your shit. I can see your shit. Nothing about your shit is like what you telling me to do. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about, I see people like this every fucking day. I be like, God damn. And this is why when I get on my podcast, I like to talk about shit about my life too, because my life ain't fucking perfect at all. Talking about relationship problems. You talking about going through fucking hell, living in hell on a daily basis. Yeah, that's life. That's part of life for me. I know it is for a lot of y'all. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is fucking perfect. Life is hard as shit. I don't wake up every day like, don't let these goddamn lights and pictures and shit on the walls fool you. Nah, everything ain't right. But that's part of life. It's part of life. You go through shit. And the bottom line is, you need to figure out, you know, and this is what we all go through, you know. When you start going through shit in life, and this is going on outside of the holier than thou person, but when you start going through shit in life, Honestly, the best advice that I can give people is you have to take the lesson with you. So you go through some shit in a relationship, you go through some shit with your family, you go through some shit with people at work, take the lesson with you. You go to work, example, you go to work, you meet a bunch of people at work, y'all all become friends, and then next thing you know, motherfuckers start acting fake. Motherfuckers start snitching on you, start telling on you to the boss, and start doing little shit behind your back. These motherfuckers start talking about you, this motherfucker start talking about you. Take a lesson from that. You may leave that job, or you may not be cool with those people, but take a lesson from that. Stop going to work being super cool with people. Or stop being cool with so many people. Stop giving so much of yourself away. Go to work, get your bread, and go home. Relationships. You get in a relationship with somebody, you start going through problems with the motherfucker. Motherfucker turn out to be not who you thought they were. Okay, cool. Take the lesson from that. What can I do better when I meet somebody else? What can I do better? What can I do better? What can I look for? Because see, that's the problem with a lot of people. They think that when you get into a relationship with somebody, a new person, they try to tell you, well, I ain't that person, right? Don't look at me like I'm that person. But nah, fuck that. Don't listen to that person. That's a little kind of a little form of manipulation for real. Like, don't listen. If you start seeing those red flags, believe those red flags. That's just me being real with you. See, some people they'll try to play you to the point where it's like they'll use certain phrases and shit in relationships where they try to control you, and then you end up fucked over in the end, and you're mad, and you're back at square one, and you got to take that lesson and go to another one. You see what I'm saying? So it's just you got to go on your own path, man, and you got to realize that. Going back to the holier than thou people, you ain't fucking perfect, and nothing about nobody's situation is perfect. I haven't seen it yet. You could pretend all you want to that everything is perfect, and you could speak for everyone in your own family without them being there and tell somebody that shit is perfect. But those people have yet to speak for themselves, right? And let's just go back to my whole situation, right? Looking from on the outside, looking in, I've come to realize that over the years, a lot of people thought some strange things about my family when we was growing up. And I'm just like, damn, y'all really thought that? And this is just coming through barbershop talk and all that shit. I'm just like, damn, y'all really thought that, huh? See, everything looks good from the outside, right? But really, when you start having a real conversation, which I like to have, you start seeing the real shit, or you start hearing the real shit about what really happened. And I get it. We all go through our own problems in life, and everybody's family got problems. But listen, there are people out here that pretend to be holier than thou. They act like they ain't got no fucking problems. And I grew up in shit. Listen, shit. This is why, and I'm gonna close it out here, because this is why I like to have these conversations with my kids, right? And I like to tell my kids about me, who I was growing up, because I can tell you right now, coming my upbringing, I don't really know shit about my parents, for real. Like, it's certain shit that I'm learning about them now, only because I had started asking questions. But when we was growing up, they ain't never fucking talked to us about, well, to me, I can't speak for everybody, but they never talked to me about who they were when they were growing up. I didn't know. They were like fucking strangers to me. So that's why, like, now I talk to my kids about who I was growing up, because I don't pretend to be holier than thou. I don't pretend like I didn't grow up having fucking problems. I don't pretend that I didn't have issues, as a kid myself when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that shit with my kids. I cannot do that. Pretending like the world is just this beautiful fucking place and everything is this and everything is that. Nah, that shit ain't real. That shit ain't real. It's not real. So that's why I have these conversations with my kids about life, because I don't want my kids to ever grow up thinking that they're better than someone, or that, because see, what they see now is my 17-year-old, this is all she knows, 17 years of me. So she ain't never seen me fucked up, like out here just messed up in the street. She ain't never seen me like that. I never let her know that about me. my 10-year-old. I never let her know that about me, like how hard it was, you know? Like I never let her see it. I'm talking about like see it. But when we talk about it. Because I don't want to be a stranger to my kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me keeping it real. But to go back, again, I can't stand a holier than thou person. I can't. I cannot. Like, you sit in circles with people, you sit in rooms with people, and you think you're the messiah of those people, when really, and you know, you get the sheep in there that fall for that shit. They be looking at the person like, but I be like, damn, can you not see outside of the bullshit? And if you can't see outside of the bullshit, man, maybe you deserve to be there looking up to that person who pretend that they ain't got no fucking problems. Get that bullshit out of here. Get it away from me, because, look, everybody got fucking problems. Everybody do. No one should pretend that they better than anybody. And that's the bottom line. Flat out. So, yeah, that's going to close it out for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast with Dustin Calloway. So look, next week I got a couple good topics coming up. Couple topics coming up. So I'm gonna just leave you with this one. One of my topics is gonna be, sometimes violence is necessary. I will go in on this one right here about it, but I'm like, nah, I ain't even gonna do it. I'm gonna save it for next episode. So look, smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Please drop a comment down below. If you hit the like button on my video, it helps with YouTube's algorithm to push my video out to the masses, because that's what I'm trying to do. It's all about support, my people, man. Like, you support me, man, you know, I look out for you, you know. But we got to share these messages. We got to pass these video Bibles through the ages, you know, like my version of the my video Bible through the ages, man. That's what we got to do, you know. So smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. All my social media info will be down below in the description of the video. And again, man, thank you for the support. All the people who come out, who watch the videos, who support me, I appreciate you. And until the next time, my people, peace.